Is it morning? Good morning. Good morning. It's might be afternoon in other places, but it is morning. Let me see if I should put this up here. Hey Tanya's baby daddy. Welcome, baby. Welcome, 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 y'all. Come on in. Want to talk about all the crime that's involved. Hey, Sun Beach. That's involved in Kendrick Johnson's case. All the crime. There we go. I like that. But let's talk about all the crime that's involved with the Kendrick Johnson's case. Okay. So the mother has been speaking on a couple of channels or whatnot. Okay. Y'all excuse my hair. Excuse my hair. Anyway, so the mother has been speaking out. She's been speaking out on a couple of platforms, and when she's been speaking out, she's been talking a lot about the case. Okay. We're still waiting on an update from the audio. We're still waiting on the audio update. Okay. We're still waiting on that. But there's multiple crimes that's been committed in the Kendrick Johnson case. So as I was listening, dang, it's hot in here. God. Roll up my window. Turn the air on. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm so hot. Ooh. Okay. So, as she was talking to multiple people, okay? Multiple people. So let's start with the missing camera footage, okay? There's camera footage that has been cut off, that's missing, okay? From the gym, okay? Missing camera footage, okay? Two of the cameras had the same time as I was listening, okay? Two cameras was missing 2 hours. The other one was missing 1 hour. Okay. So we're talking about missing camera footage. Missing camera footage. Okay. Then we go into talking about the shoe that was planted there that had no blood on it, on the top of the shoe. No blood on the top of the shoe. Okay. It was placed there. Then we go on to the sheriff, the old sheriff, not the new sheriff, but the sheriff before Polk. I think the last sheriff name was Prime. If I'm not mistaken, the last sheriff name was Prime. Okay. So you got the last sheriff who gave the ruling before the coroner came back and said it was an accident. I just got done listening to Jackie Johnson speak. Okay. So you have the old sheriff, and all this is screaming cover up. All this screams cover up, okay? All of it. All of it screams cover up. But you have a sheriff determining how someone dies. Hey, D Sunshine, baby. You have a sheriff determining when or how someone died when you're not a coroner. That's not your job to determine how Kendrick Johnson died. Before his autopsy even came back, you ruled it accidental. And at first, Sheriff Prime, which is the old sheriff, Sheriff Prime said that Kendrick was in the mat feet first, then went back, and this new story was he was in the mat head first. Hey, Sharonda. Hey, y'all. So you have multiple stories because you wanted to hush this case up. All these crimes are being committed in this case, but you want to hush it up and quiet it, right? So you got this is just unbelievable. This is unbelievable. You got sheriffs determining the cause of death when it's not your job. It's the coroner's job. They cannot find, to this day, Kendrick, the baby's organs. They cannot find his clothes that they took off of him. They don't have his clothes, and they still don't have his organs. No clothes, no organs. No clothes, no organs. So y'all don't even have his clothes, his organs. The coroner, first one, because he had 3 autopsies done, I believe. They found out his organs was missing when they exhumed the body the second time. Well, the first time, because he was laid to rest. They exhumed his body up again, and the family paid for the private autopsy. Okay, so the family paid for the autopsy, which is not cheap, by the way. So the family paid for the autopsy. They exhumed the body. Blunt force trauma. When they exhumed the body, that's when they realized that Kendrick's organs was missing. And they stuffed the body with newspaper. As I found out, which I'm going to share with you guys, them stuffing his body with newspaper is not illegal, but it is inhumane. So down there, it's not illegal to stuff a body with newspaper. It's unethical and inhumane is what it is, but it's not illegal. Okay, found that out. So you got no organs. Organs can tell you time of death and how a person died. Organs can tell you the time of death and how someone dies. Okay, that's what organs can do. Organs tell you the time of death and how someone passed. They also removed his tongue and his windpipe. They removed his tongue and his windpipe. And he had completely no organs in his body. His body was also taken to a crime lab that was not in operation after they removed his body from the gym. They took his body to a crime lab that was not in operation. His body was in a crime lab, not in operation. The dad described it as it was hot. Hey, Southern Sass. Yes, I'm having a great Sunday. I hope you are too. It was very hot in that room, as the dad described. They had him zipped up. Okay. Now, they were supposed to be identifying the body. At first, they didn't want to let the parents identify the body. They wanted them to identify a shoe. I'm very glad the family never gave up either. They wanted Kendrick's body to be identified by a shoe at first. So the parents then went to the news station. When they went to the news station, then the sheriff called them, reached out to them because they making noise. They won't let us identify, they won't let us see his body. They talking about sending a photo of a shoe. Is this your son's shoe? That determines if that's him or not. No, that's not protocol. That's not how it works. It don't work like that. Somebody next of kin has to go identify the body. So they didn't want to let the family identify the body. So then they go, okay, they go to the news. Then the sheriff calls. Yes, MH, beyond belief. Beyond belief. Then the mother, she's not able to go, but the father goes in there. He described it as being hot. It wasn't an operation. They really brought Kendrick's body there to tamper with his body, to tamper with evidence. That's why his body was there. He said they pulled him out the drawer and all he felt was heat coming. Like it was just hot. Real hot. Not an operation, just exactly Southern sass. But that's what they tried. They tried it. They tried it. It didn't work, but they tried it. So the dad identifies him. He said, but they had him zipped up. Okay. They had Kendrick's body there. The mother saying that his body shouldn't even have been at a crime lab. It should have been at the coroner's office. Once it left there, it should have been to the coroner's office. Okay. But that's where his body ended up being before he was even moved to the coroner's office. Why would you take him to the crime lab first? I don't even know. It sounds shady, and it sounds like they was doing some hanky-panky to the body. Okay? He should have been straight to the coroner's office, but he didn't make it straight to the coroner's office. He made it to a crime lab. That was not an operation. To tamper with body, tamper with evidence. Okay? So he then makes it. They identify him at the crime lab, the father. And I would love to hear what the father says. I'm going to see if I can find anything where the father talks about what he experienced at the crime lab, because I'm very curious. I want to know, what did he see, And I am probably going to, because I've been feeling like I need to reach out to Miss Jackie, because I really want to talk to her. So I think I'm going to reach out to her. Okay. So he's at the crime lab where he shouldn't have been in the first place. Okay. Then he makes it to the coroner's office. Alright. They bury him. They exhume the body. He has no organs. Okay. It's said to be believed that the first coroner, the one that ruled it a accident, and the sheriff ruled it an accident before the autopsy results came back. Hey, victim of insanity, baby. Oh, yeah. He was murdered. Kendrick was definitely murdered. So, they exhumed the body. No organs, no tongue, no windpipe, no organs in the inside, which can determine time of death and how he died. They exhumed the body, okay? The new finding was blunt force trauma. But still, we have not got a homicide result. Now, we have the blunt force trauma. That's how he died for the second and third autopsy, the blunt force trauma. Also, let's rewind back to the gym. Okay, if he was killed at 2 o'clock, they closed down the school that day, the 10th. Okay, so his body was there at the school, and he's deceased from 2 p.m. all the way to the next day. To what time did they say? To school open. So all that night, they had plenty of time for other people to go in and out of the school, to wipe things down, place Kendrick's body, set up how they wanted to look. They had time to take footage out. They did all of this, okay? From 2 to the next day till his body was discovered in the gym. Okay? They had all this time. But the camera's missing, so we don't know. The camera footage was missing from what happened to him in the gym. Okay? Certain hours was taken out of footage where you can't see what happened to him. It was said for the cameras to have been motion activated. On one camera, you can see people going in and out the gym. So if it was motion activated, then those missing footages should have shown what happened to Kendrick in that gym, because he was in that gym with other people, other students. Okay? Make sure I hit all the points I need to hit. Yeah, I'm praying they receive justice too, because this, I mean, they've been fighting for a lot of years. 8 years, that's a lot of years. A lot of years. Make sure I don't miss nothing. So, fast forward. Fast forward, there was a young man that stated, that Brian Bell killed Kendrick in a roid rage, on steroids, got upset, killed Kendrick with a dumbbell. He hit him in the neck with a dumbbell. That is what someone came forward and told. I don't know why it wasn't investigated or why it wasn't taken seriously. I don't know. But it's a cover-up. So I'm pretty sure they just shot what that person said down, which is very valuable. Okay? Very valuable information. Someone came forward and told you that Brian Bell took a dumbbell, hit Kendrick in the neck, killed him. He was on steroids, allegedly. Roid rage is what they're calling it. Okay? I don't know why that wasn't taken into consideration, why it wasn't taken seriously, why it wasn't looked into thoroughly. I don't know. But I have an idea why. Because y'all wanted to look like an accident. And y'all didn't want the Bell brothers, who was the son of an FBI agent. Okay. So you have all the information. Now we have this audio that's recently been turned in. I made sure I uploaded it on this channel. You have an audio that's recently been turned in with a saying that he knows they're going to get him anyways, and he sounded tearful on it. Okay? So they're authenticating that as we speak. When I find out the findings of that, I will let you guys know. But somebody sold the family that for $1,000. Um, and it was somebody in, I want to say, the Bell's family that sold the family that audio, that confession of, and it's probably Brian that made the confession, because allegedly the Bell brothers been the suspects or persons of interest all these years. They just never was charged. They just never was arrested. They was probably talked to in the past, but it went no further than them talking to them, because obviously they still out here free while Kendrick is deceased in the ground. Okay. The audio did say that he was young and dumb, and that Kendrick didn't deserve that. The audio did state that. Is what they were saying, that it stated that. So it's just bad. Oh, as well as this, when Kendrick's case got reopened, Miss Jackie, Kendrick's mother, explained that other parents that lost their kids, some mothers are upset that Kendrick's case was reopened, and I guess was giving the mother a hard time. And I'm just very surprised at that, because you all need to be sticking together as grieving parents who lost children. You should be sticking together, not upset because of a child's case has been reopened. The mother expressed that other grieving mothers are upset that Kendra's case is reopened. And I'm just looking like, that's very distasteful. Why would you be upset? You should be happy. You never know, your case could have a turnaround for your child, you know? But she's dealing with that as well, so we definitely got to pray for the mother. She's dealing with a lot of backlash. A lot of people are upset that the case is even reopened, especially the people that killed Kendrick, that's involved in cover-up. The people at the sheriff's office that helped cover it up 8 years ago, that's going to have to take some responsibility of not doing their job the first time this case was opened. Back then, they did not do their job, and they covered it up. So someone has to take responsibility for that 8 years ago. Some of the people working in the sheriff department, the mother stated. So they're going to have to be held at some type of standard repercussions for what they've done, because they know what they've done. They know they helped cover up this murder. They know they cut some corners. They know what they did was wrong, which is very sad. I was someone saw this audio. This could be important. This is so wrong. Could this be a distraction? Victim insanity, that it is a distraction. That's why they're authenticating it, to make sure it's not someone playing a sick joke on the family. They're authenticating to make sure that it's actually someone sound to be like a Caucasian male really telling on himself. Hey, Tracy. Oh, it's okay, baby. Something's very wrong with the entire school system, the town, the cops, and investigators. That's very true. They wanted to cover up Kendrick's death. And they did. Well, they tried. But the family never stopped fighting. The mother even described, that her and her husband they quit their jobs to fight for their son's murderer to go to justice, be brought to justice full time. So they even stopped working. They took it that serious. But you have some grieving parents out there, the mother was talking about, that was very upset that this case was open. A lot of people are upset, and I'm happy that case is open. I don't care who you are, what nationality you are. If someone does something to you, commit a crime, they need to be brought to justice. It's just point blank. So I guess you have some people that are upset that with Jackie, that her son's case is reopened. Hey, Casey Smith. And it's unbelievable why y'all grieving mothers, y'all should be able to come together at a time like this. Come together and support one another because y'all all have something in common. Your kids are deceased. But you have people that are upset that Kendrick's case is reopened. So they're letting it be known. I just think that's very distasteful. Very, very distasteful. So I wanted to bring you guys that information that I just got done finished listening to in my car, and it's very disturbing. Very disturbing. And it's just sad. It's sad that this young boy, a bright future, lost his life, and they having to fight so long and so hard for his murderers to be brought to justice. That is crazy to me. But it happens all the time. All the time. So we have all type of crimes that's been committed in this case. You have murder, you have tampering with evidence, you have tampering with the body, you have this tampering with the body goes in with them removing the organs, removing his clothes, getting rid of them because the family don't know where they're at and they don't have them in their possession. They don't have his clothes. Normally, when your loved one passes away or gets murdered after they're done with the autopsy and everything, and they're done using the clothes as evidence or getting any evidence off of it that they need to help with the case, they return the family the property of the person. Okay, they return the property. Miss Johnson and Mr. Johnson never got the property of Kendrick Johnson. They never got the baby's clothes. So Valdosta discarded his clothes. Can you do a video on Justin Sawyer and Marquise Jones? They were missing but found it. Okay, can you send me their names? Post their names at the bottom end of this video, or because I don't have nothing to. Hold on, let me see. But they got rid of his organs. I'm looking for my other phone. Hold on 1 second. They got rid of his organs. Okay. So they got rid of his organs, and they got rid of. Oh, it's dirty. They got rid of his organs, and they got rid of his oh my God, I didn't see all this. Okay, so they got rid of the baby's organs and they got rid of his clothes so that we'll never, so the family doesn't have it. And they did that to keep us from finding out how he died, so they can keep that not suicide, accidental ruling on the case. Can you text me the names at 615-231-0422? Text me their names there, and then yes, he was rolled up in the mat like that. They rolled him like an accident. They rolled him up in the mat to make it look like an accident. Yes, they did that baby like that. But send me those names to 615-231-0422. And I will look into those cases. But I'm going to try to reach out to Jackie Johnson and have a conversation with her, because this is just crazy. But somebody sent me some information about paprika dean. So yeah. So that's just weird. I should have checked my phone last night, but I didn't. Yeah, this makes me very upset too. Like, but this is the type of crimes that's been committed in this case. You have all type of crimes that's been committed. They really, they say, but it is very unethical and disrespectful